3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm Yolanda Nell and I will be your host for today. For today's interview, we are talking to Verschka Dumeni and she is talking to us about Earth Day that was commemorated on Friday as well as the march they planned. Before we head over to the news, today's riddle. I am a three-digit number. My first and second digits are mirror images. My third is the half of 2. What am I? The government institution's pension fund plans to host pre-retirement workshops from the 26th to the 28th of April at 9 p.m. in Windhoek from 8 a.m. until 3 on each day. The aim is to prepare members between the ages of 53 and 59 who are planning on going on early or normal retirement. The workshops are part of an extensive member education campaign undertaken by the fund on an annual basis. Members are welcome to choose the date they wish to attend the workshop. With members being the core of the fund's business, it is pivotal that they are well informed regarding their benefits to ensure well-informed decisions that are beneficial to them and their beneficiaries when on retirement. It is with this background that the below topics will be discussed: the overview of the benefits, enjoying and loving retirement, retirement planning, and individual queries and consultations. According to Amos Kambonde, GIPF Manager for Marketing Services, the main aim of retirement planning is to ensure that this period of life is not stressful for the member or the family. Reinheidsgebod Day, which was celebrated on the 23rd of April, acknowledges the Reinheidsgebod of Purity Law of 1516, and Namibia Breweries Limited joins beer enthusiasts in marking this historical day, which also shapes the basis of NBL's high standards for beer production. The world's oldest food law, the Reinheidsgebod for beer, proclaimed on the 23rd of April in 1516, was originally created to prevent questionable and oftentimes harmful ingredients from making their way into beer production, and stipulated that beer should be brewed using only the following ingredients: malted barley, hops, water, and yeast. This standard ensured product safety and prescribes barley as the grain for beer production. Since its proclamation over 500 years ago, the Reinheitsgebot exists as a food law in Germany, restricting the raw materials for beer production to malt, hops, water, and yeast, and prohibits the use of any chemicals other than process and taste enhancers. Namibia Breweries ensures it remains loyal to this traditional art and higher standards of brewing, and believes that this well-proven method is the key to producing pure beer. If you have a startup or you are thinking of starting your own business, then listen up, because the next Future Females event in Windhoek is taking place on Tuesday under the theme Legal Habits to Achieve Success and Financial Gain. 4 legal professionals will take to the stage on Tuesday, but we quickly check in with Stephanie Bush. She is a senior associate at ENS Africa and specializes in energy, mining, and environmental law, project development, as well as commercial, corporate, and regulatory law. Stephanie, thank you so much for your time. Let's quickly dive in. Stephanie, why are legal habits so important to achieve success and financial freedom?
Adopting the correct legal habits is just a good way to have a very strong foundation in your business. It is in order to avoid incurring unnecessary liabilities or financial burdens. So it's just to make sure everything is in place, and it really is an investment in your company, especially if you have to go at the beginning. You know, there are some costs, you know, having the business registration, getting the right agreements in place, but it is an investment into your business, just like any other asset or insurance or anything else would be for your business.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined with Verschka Dumeni, and we are talking Earth Day and the peaceful protest that is taking place on Friday. Why did you decide to organize this event?
Hi. So we wanted to celebrate Earth Day, right? And more than ever now during a climate crisis, we really need to realize that the environment is very important. Most importantly, environmental health is very important, right? So today we are here to raise awareness against the Canadian company Recon Africa, who is drilling for oil and gas in the Kavango Basin, which is a very ecologically sensitive area, right? And today we are saying on a day that we are supposed to be praising and protecting the earth, we should be saying no to such companies that are continuing to essentially degrade the environment. Yeah.
Can you quickly tell us, it looks as if government is very excited about partnership with the Canadian company. How do we reach and change the conversation so that government knows what is going to happen to our earth?
Yes, that's true. The government seems to be very excited about any investment. It doesn't really matter what investment it is, as long as it is investment, unfortunately. And they are basically using the justification that because every other country has benefited from their own oil reserves, why can we not do the same as well, right? But we are saying that it's too late. We are in a climate crisis. It's too late for us to follow those footsteps. And how we can basically put pressure on the government to realize this is public pressure, unfortunately, because no one in the ministry seems to be on our side. No one in the ministry seems to be talking up for the environment, right? So public pressure, public scrutiny more than anything is the one thing that can really put not only the company on the spot for the unlawful things that they have been doing so far, but also the government for supporting, endorsing the crisis and praising it.
Can you quickly tell us, it seems like the climate crisis comes from European and American countries, and African countries are paying the price.
That's true. That's because we fall under the category of low environmental impact but high vulnerability, right? We already have a very vulnerable climate, unfortunately. In addition to that, we have so many social problems that really, if we had to face a climate crisis with food shortages or food insecurity, we already have poverty here. That's just going to be expedited. So because of the natural condition of the natural climate of African countries, and also because of the unfortunate social structures and unjust social structures of African countries, we are going to bear the biggest burden of the climate crisis. But just because we are not the most responsible doesn't mean that we cannot prepare for the effects of the climate crisis, and that's where climate adaptation comes in. And not only that, but it doesn't mean that we should continue in the wrong footsteps of the European countries, commit the same crimes, and only later give up oil and gas. Right? We have to learn early, and more than anything, because we are most vulnerable, we should be heading the fight as much as we can.
What can we as Namibians do in our homes, in our companies to mitigate the effects?
A lot of it has to be putting pressure on policy change. As an individual, there's so many things that you can do. You can research. There's so many in an office. You can reduce your energy consumption. You can buy more energy efficient technology. So many things that you can do, like recycle and all these things. But we need to put pressure on policy change, because essentially that's where we, even as an environmentalist, I have to take a taxi to come and do this demonstration. That is carbon emissions, and here I am protesting against that. That's because, unfortunately, the systems that we have in place do not support our values, our environmental values. So it's putting pressure on the representative leaders and ministers to say that you need to make the right policy changes that adhere to a climate resilient nation.
I know City of Windhoek has started, and I was at the launch when they opened the bicycle lanes last year, and I remember someone said, one of the councillors present, it took them 10 years to implement a bicycle lane in Windhoek, and it's happening. It's a good thing, but a lot still has to be done, and we should rather just start now, late, and not sit and scratch our heads 10 years from now saying, if only.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And one of the reasons why the bicycle lanes, or really establishing a more sustainable public transport, is so difficult is because the city planning doesn't really easily accommodate for it. So you can see that a lot of these bicycle lanes had to be squeezed in certain lanes, right? So unfortunately, our city planning sometimes doesn't really allow for a more walkable and pedestrian lifestyle, right? But I have to give praise to Job Ampanda. He initiated some of these things, and it went ahead within a couple of years compared to the previous person who tried for 10 years. And like you said, even no matter how long it takes, you start now. You start now rather than later. Yeah.
The city is very adamant to create the Smart City initiative. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we have to define what smart city is, because smart city can focus on the technology and more infrastructure, taller buildings and whatnot. But a climate smart city is what we need. We need more urban gardenings. We have a lot of rooftops that can use more solar panels. I mean, they're just naked at this point, right? So we need to define what a smart city is. And if we focus on environmental advocacy within our designs for cities, and if we focus on people-centered cities, then that would be a applaud-worthy plan, really. Yeah.
Veronica, thank you so much for your time. Verschka, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and thank you for the changes you are making.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your own efforts as a media person. We really need that. Yeah.
Great. For today's recommendation, I am showing you a DIY I did over the Easter weekend. It was a lot of fun and very quick and easy, and it just gives a pop of color in my kitchen. I hope you enjoy. I started this project by sanding my laminate kitchen cabinet doors. This really didn't take me a very long time. I have 8 doors and 2 drawers, and then afterwards I removed all the doors and decided to spray paint it outside. I have, like I said, 8 doors and 2 drawers, and I used 2 bottles of spray paint. I will show you which ones I used just now, and I just waited for it to dry and just spray painted over any pieces that I was missing. And then the biggest challenge was to put it all back together, because then you kind of need someone to help you. So that took me the longest, was to put the cupboards back together. But all in all, I love how it turned out. I used a hunter's green, and there's my new kitchen cupboard. And then I also decided to spray paint the countertops black. And for that whole length, I used also 2 bottles of spray paint, and I also spray painted the handles.
Adam Tas is coming to Windhoek to help build a brighter future for education. Join us at the Sounds of Caring concert at Windhoek High School Verschka on 20 and 21 May, where he will be performing with Von Arends and Rian Smith. Tickets cost $200 Namibian and are available via eticket.my.na. All proceeds go towards the African Child Development Trust.
Today's life hack is for all the campers out there. If you want to sleep a little bit more comfortably, then use that children's foam mat for a little bit of support, and it also helps for insulation during the cold winter months. Next up, Jeanette Diergaard for your Flex Minute.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, welcome to another exciting edition.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Flex Minutes. My name is Jeanette Diergaard and today I will be showing you guys a life hack, okay? This is really a life hack. What I want you to teach you guys today is the interior tilt. So that is basically while you're doing any workout, you're constantly engaging your abs, you're squeezing your glutes, and you are doing your workouts, and you will see that with still standing movements while you're standing up, or even just using different body parts, that you have to do this interior tilt. So what you're gonna do is you have it, so I'm just gonna demonstrate to you guys. Your butt is out, but with this one you need to squeeze everything in. So it's like this and you bring it in. So you have that interior tilt. You also do this when you are doing a what you call it now, when you're doing the planks. That is what you're gonna do. An interior tilt, you're gonna constantly tilt that body, or not tilt it, it's, you know, because you're tilting like that, but you're actually squeezing your abs and you're contracting it, and you can do your workouts like that. But that brings me to the end of today's Flex Minute. I hope to see you all next time again.
Well, could you figure out today's riddle? A 3-digit number of which the first 2 is mirror images of itself and the third digit is the half of 2. The answer, 881. We will be back again tomorrow with a brand new interview and a recommendation just for you.